beyond taxes and public safety, one of the biggest concerns voters have is about transparency in county government. Next Tuesday is the Nassau County executive race between Bruce Blakeman, the Republican incumbent, and Seth Koslow, the Democrat challenger. And one of the big questions is how government will actually function under both of theirs. Seth Koslow is pitching himself as a reformer to go after the party machine that is the Republican Party, that he's going to bring transparency and open government to Nassau County. Nassau County has a long history of patronage and corruption. And so any even whiff of favoritism in county government, voters really revile against. And so one of the big questions of this election is whether Bruce Blakeman's perceived wins on public safety and no tax increases, whether that can withstand uh, the accusations of closed government and backroom dealing. Nassau County voters are politically mixed, but and have shifted more toward the right in the era of Trump. But there is a shared deep cynicism from all sides of the aisle about county government. Most recently, we had former Congressman George Santos, who was sentenced to prison for corruption and then released on Donald Trump's say so. Before that, we had former Nassau County Executive Ed Mangano. He and his wife were sentenced to 12 years on fraud and bribery charges, both he and his wife. And so these corruption scandals loom large in voters because this has been a disgrace, a national disgrace, right? I mean, we were embarrassed by George Santos. We've been embarrassed by Ed Mangano. And so even moderate Republicans are really care about this issue of good governance. Bruce Blakeman has consolidated quite a bit of executive power in his first term. He's often bypassing the legislature on issues with executive orders or unilateral initiatives. For example, on mask mandates and saying that people should not be wearing masks, or on transgender sports participation rules. In both cases, he bypassed the legislature. But more than the executive power, it's about no bid contracts and patronage. And the most glaring example, and the example that Seth Koslow is hitting him on TV ads, is a $8,000 a month contract consulting deal with former Republican Party Peter King. And it is clear to most voters that this is a political kickback to an old advisor and friend, and seems to illustrate some sort of insider favoritism. That why is Peter King a consultant at that amount of money for counterterrorism advice, as if we couldn't get counterterrorism advice from the Nassau County Police Department or other more objective, apolitical sources. Certainly there's a perception of cronyism in this uh, uh, Nassau County government under Bruce Blakeman. And so the big question is whether Seth Koslow's attacks really take hold. The other example of cronyism is the Nassau County Medical Center, which is the only safety net county hospital, was both the chairman and the CEO were appointed by Bruce Blakeman. They're both big Republican donors, and both have had to resign in recent years under shady means, right? And so in both cases, both the Peter King issue and the Nassau University Medical Center issue, we see a county government that is not fully transparent. And so this is the big target on Bruce Blakeman's back that is on the minds of a lot of voters.